Welcome to your video all about AI and Smartthings. So today we're going to dive in deep into Smartthings, the app, and also look at AI, as well as look at some of our competitors and look at the future and where we're going with Smartthings too. So a really nice way to introduce Smartthings and a conversation to start having with customers is all to do with one of our tabs, which we call Life. Now within Life, you'll find clothing care, home care, food and energy as ones as really key topics to talk about with customers. So we'll start off diving deep into them individually, and we'll start off with clothing care. Now on the screen, we're going to show you our tablet with the Smartthings app open so you can see this for yourself and exactly what it looks like. So this is clothing care. Now as you can see at the top, we have our scan care labels and scan detergents. Now why is this important? Well, when it comes to doing our washing, some people say we don't really know what we're doing. And that always comes down to, actually, when it comes to individual items as well as our detergents, it can be quite confusing and misleading on how to wash them. So to make it easier, you have those scanners. So I can simply scan a label of clothing and it's going to give me all the information and detail I need in order to look after that particular garment. And then on the flip side, we also have our detergent scanner. So on that, you can scan the back of your detergent. That will then decipher the information about how much detergent you need, depending on the clothing type, the water you have, whether it's hard or soft, and it will give you all the correct information on how to use it correctly. This is going to make laundry so much easier because a lot of the time we don't know how to wash particular items of clothing and even how much detergent to use. So it's a really handy side of Smartthings. We also then have AI recommendation. So this is where it's going to remember you and your patterns. If you do certain washes on certain days of the week, it's going to remember that and showcase it on the Smartthings app or indeed on the machine itself. We then have our custom cycles. You can create a cycle for yourself. Say you love sport, you play for a team, you wear a particular uniform when you're playing that sport, you want to wash it correctly, you can set up your own custom cycle, name it after you or your team, and have it saved onto Smartthings and onto the machine as well. We also then have My Wardrobe, which any scanned labels of particular clothing you've wanted to kind of find more information about, that will sit in your My Wardrobe for you to refer back to as and when you need to when you're cleaning that item. We then have the general supply, so that's going to tell you about how much laundry detergent or conditioner you've got in your auto dose system. So you can link this to an Amazon account or even using Alexa to smartly reorder any detergent or fabric conditioner if it notices you're starting to run out. Another really handy side to clothing care is stain guide. Now I really needed this and was so glad it was a thing during Christmas when it involved red wine and a white carpet. You can imagine how that went. This was the perfect guide for me to be able to quickly remove that stain. It's really handy to be able to help with things like oil stains, grass, dye, mud, anything that actually you do tend to typically get on clothing, especially if you have kids. But sometimes it's also really hard to get those stains out, and often you end up actually throwing the item of clothing away. But to minimise that and get the most out of our clothes, Stain Guide is there to be that helpful tool to be able to minimise getting any stains that stay on there forever. Really handy. Now, the next part of Smartthings and within Life we want to talk about is home care. Now, I always describe this as this peace of mind within Smartthings. This is where I can go on and check on all of my appliances. It's going to let me know if there's any issues, if anything needs to be done. For example, if my fridge filter needs changing or my tumble dryer filter needs cleaning, it's going to let me know within this side. It also is going to say everything is running optimally. You're going to get that green tick knowing everything is good to go. So again, that peace of mind. We also then have Smart Forward. This is going to be our 5-year guarantee on all appliances that they will continue to get those updates, like things like AI energy mode, so you can continue to get the best out of your machines for 5 years. We also then have our usage guide. Now this is the perfect place to get any handy tips on how to look after your appliances. Sometimes it can be quite confusing and you quite don't understand how to do certain things. This is where you'll find exactly that information. Say for example, on your washing machine, you want to know how to clean the pump. You can have a handy guide on there with all of that information on exactly how to do it. A step-by-step process showing you what to start with, what to do, handy tips, whether you need a towel, whether you need a bowl, all of the things like that on how to look after and clean that machine. Now, let's talk food, one of my favourite parts of Smartthings. Within Life, you have a food tab. Now, within that, you actually have 5 individual tabs to help you navigate through the food side, being Home, Search, Communities, My, and Shopping. Within Home, this is where you'll find all of the recipes, things that will use your ingredients, things that will use any communities you're a member of, just for you, as well as ones that will use paired with wine and different appliances within the home. You'll have lots of different recipes there, which will be down to your specific likes and dislikes, allergies, and your cooking ability for you to be able to go through and choose something which looks good. Or you can set things like meal plans, Monday to Friday, dinners, breakfast, lunch, whatever it might be, so you can be that bit more organised. You can also search for recipes, which is another tab, where I can search for something I really want to cook, or I can then use ingredients I have, so I've got bananas I need to use, or I can search for calorie specific recipes, or even kitchen appliances I have. Whether it's my oven, microwave or cooktop, I can search for recipes using my appliance. If I want to search for a recipe, lemon drizzle cakes for example, you can see when I do that just how many results I get. It's giving me lots of options when it comes to choosing my perfect recipe. Once I find that recipe, when I select that, you can see my prep time, cook time and calories, as well as all the ingredients I need for that specific recipe. I can add individual ingredients or all of them and send them directly to a shopping list. I can then use that shopping list when I'm in store, or using the other tab we have, which is called Shopping, I can buy them online, but we'll show you that in a bit. Underneath ingredients, you'll find our instructions, a step-by-step guide using photos, which I can go through and read myself, or I can use the step-by-step guidance, which is going to say out loud those steps, so I don't have to be touching my phone or my tablet or my family hub if my hands have got a bit messy. You then can also do send to oven as well through here, where it will directly send any instructions for that recipe directly to my oven. We then have communities. Within communities, this is where I'll find any featured communities I've liked, also any celebrity chefs with all of their recipes, as well as any other users of Smartthings with any recipes they've uploaded themselves, whether it's secret family recipes or things they absolutely love they can share on their own communities, as well as you can start your own community too. You can also use it to delve in a little bit deeper into baking, into any cooking methods you like, or even diets, gluten-free options as well as keto diets and all things like that. We then have My, which is the specific section to you. You'll have recipes which you've saved, as well as recipes you've used for you to be able to refer back to, as well as your meal plan and health data, which is linked to your Samsung Watch, as well as My Wines. If you're a particular wine fan, you can take photos of wine bottles to which it will then pair it with particular dishes. If you have a family hub with AI vision inside, this is where you'll find your ingredients too, again to be able to select ingredients to search for recipes. You'll also have devices linked there, whether it's an oven, a microwave, a hob, or even your fridge, all linked into your food when it comes to Smartthings. The next side is that shopping. So I mentioned earlier, you can add all your ingredients from specific recipes into a shopping list. If I wanted to, rather than use it out in the supermarket, I can buy directly online. This will then take me to a landing page where you'll see Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Amazon Fresh and Ocado as options for me to look at. When I select one, it will show me all of the ingredients within my shopping list, and then it will also give me a price. Now, the best side to this is I can actually compare on prices, something you can never do in store, meaning I can make smarter choices when it comes to my weekly orders of food, making sure I'm going for the cheapest one possible to save myself a bit of money. Now that's everything that we want to talk about with food. Now another thing that's super important, which you'll find in life, is all to do with energy. So when you go into the energy, you can see at the bottom you have 3 tabs: monitor, save and activity. When you go into monitor, you'll find the page that looks like this, where you have AI energy mode at the top. When you go into AI energy mode, you have your saving options where you can select always saving or a customized saving, when you can actually set a value yourself. Underneath, you have your selected devices which run on AI energy mode, whether it's a fridge, washing machine, tumble dryer, a dishwasher, or even a TV. You can select or deselect those appliances that run with AI energy mode. Underneath, you have your energy cost of this month. So it will show you that monetary value of how much energy you used so far, but as well a comparison for last month's figure. So you can use that to look at last month's data if you want to find ways to save and keep on track for this month. Underneath, you have your energy use. You can see actually how much energy you've used on a daily, a hourly, a weekly or a monthly case. You can also look at your individual appliances. So you can look at your fridge, your washing machine, your dishwasher, and actually find out when the best times were for you to use those particular appliances, like a washing machine, for example, to again take steps to be able to save that bit more energy. You also have your carbon emissions aware, where you can actually see how much emissions you've used and how many reductions you've also saved as well. There's also water usage, which is important when you have any dishwashers or washing machines to keep on track with just how much water you are using. We then have save. Save, you'll see AI energy mode at the top, which will show you all of your devices which are currently running in that mode. You also have away mode on there. So say, for example, you've gone away for the weekend or a week, but you forgot to turn certain lights off or put your fridge in vacation mode. Away mode will take care of that and turn on everything into away mode. You then have our optimal charging. Working with partners of ours like Q-Cells, Tesla Energy, you've got SunPower, you've got Chameleon and British Gas. Working with them in their non-peak times, you can do optimal charging to get the best out of your energy provider. We then have our activity. Now, activity is a nice way to have a visual element when it comes to savings. So you've got your energy level, which shows you your badge of where you're at currently. You can look at the information tab, which will show you exactly how many scores or points you need to climb up into the next position. You'll then get activity badges, which people absolutely love. It's like getting stickers at school. You get awarded badges when you hit certain criteria. For example, you can see on ours, we have a start saving badge, as well as our 5th and 10th monitoring badge. You can gain these the more you do, and they'll show on your activity badges, and you can see just how many you've achieved. Talking of achievements, you've got saving rankings as well. Again, a bit of healthy competition compared to other users of Smartthings. You can see exactly where you sit when it comes to your saving rankings. We also have energy stamps, again, a nice visual element. Depending on how much you save, you then get awarded energy stamps to showcase exactly that. Now, going back to Smartthings, super important, as always, with Smartthings changing as much as it does, is to talk about the future and where we're going with Smartthings. Now, the best way to do that is introduce you to Darren, which you probably already know, but he wants to go through the future and what is coming with Smartthings.
So thank you, Lydia. I do want to talk about the future of where we're heading with Smartthings and, of course, AI. Now, lots of us have smart speakers in our homes. So that could be things like Alexa and Google, and they are brilliant at what they do, but they can be quite frustrating because every time you want them to do a task, you have to wake them up. So for example, if I wanted to turn on 3 separate lights in my house, I would have to say, Alexa, turn on the bedroom light, Alexa, turn on this light, Alexa, turn on that light. And I have to ask her every single time that I wanted to do something. Now with the new Bixby, it's going to be very conversational. So what that means is I only have to wake her up once. So I can literally say, hey Bixby, can you turn on my bedroom light, my lounge room light, and my floor light? And she'll do all of that by simply asking her once. Really, really simple and a lot more intuitive and easy to use. But it also will be more personal because it will actually recognise our voices. So everything that we do when it comes to Bixby will be personal to us. Now I want to talk about AI Home and again, the future within Smartthings. Now everybody loves the Family Hub and that nice big screen. Now imagine shrinking that down to a 7-inch and a 9-inch screen, but with the same functionality. So we can have everything that we have in our Family Hub, but shrunk down. So we can have all of the Smart View, we can control all of our devices, we can have Map View, and of course we will have that conversational Bixby as well. So I can do all of my conversations through my washing machine, for example, or even my fridge and control those various devices. Now because those screens are going to appear on all those different appliances, no matter where I am in my house, I can simply wake Bixby up, and whichever one is closest will take that command and then do everything that needs to happen within Smartthings. So a really, really great way to make our houses even smarter when it comes to what's happening with Bixby and of course Smartthings. Now Bixby can even help us when it comes to how we use our machine. So say for example, you've got an oven and you get an error code on the screen. You can now ask Bixby what the error code is and she will even help you fix exactly what that is. So that's where the future of SmartThings is going. We're going to have a much more conversational, much smarter Bixby. We're going to have those AI screens across various appliances such as fridge, freezers and washing machines, even tumble dryers, to be able to make our smart home really, really great. So I do want to thank Lydia for going through everything with SmartThings, and obviously I've shown you what the future is, so it's real exciting times.